Hello, today we're looking at Glencoe Accelerated Math, Lesson 6-3, on using the percent equation. In Lesson 1, we learned how to find the percent of a number by using a proportion. Proportions are great, but the equation that we're going to use eliminates a step. So that means we have fewer space on our paper that we take up, which most of you guys like, and it's shorter steps, which most of you guys like. So we're going to go there. Yesterday we looked at finding the percent of a number mentally. That means in our heads. As much as I know you would love to do everything in your heads, you do need to show me what we're doing here. You need to show me the work, and then you can go to your calculator. Okay? We need exact values, not an estimate. Alright? So, when we had our percent proportion, we had the part over the whole being equal to some percent out of 100. And then we had to cross multiply to solve for our missing variable. So, we had the part times 100 equals the percent times the whole. After we cross multiply. That's where we ended up, correct? Okay. In this situation, we took care of the per 100 part because we had it here and we multiplied that by the part, and then that took care of any per 100 situations. What we're looking at today, the formula for percents, says that the part equals the percent, if I can spell it correctly, on my table, times the whole. Alright, the part equals the percent times the whole. That's it. Sorry. Now, the per 100 part is not included in this at this point in time. So what we're going to do, remember when we found 10% of a number, we moved the decimal point one place? And if we were finding 1%, we moved it 2? Okay, we're going to be moving the decimal point of a percent to put it into our equation, so that we multiply by a decimal, because I don't know about you, but I don't know how to multiply longhand with a percent sign. Do you? You don't either? Okay, so we'll just go ahead and we'll go with the move the decimal point plan. And if we're looking for a decimal as our answer, we're going to move it back. Okay? So let's see what that looks like. If we look at example 1, and example 1 is on page 261. We want to find 62% of 75. So I want 62% of 75. Do I know my part?
No.
No. So I'm going to use my variable p. Do I know my percent?
Yes.
Yes, it's the number with the percent sign at the end. What is that percent? 62%. And my whole is what?
75.
75. Okay? Like I said, we can't do that. So what we do, in my percent sign, it actually gives us a reminder. When you make the percent sign, you make 2 little circles. That tells us that we need to move the decimal point 2 places. So our part is equal to 0.62 times 75. We will then go to our calculator. 0.62 times 75, and we get 46.5. Ta-da! That's it. We don't have to cross multiply. We still have to make sure that our part and our percent and our whole get in the correct location. But that's it. Questions? All right. Could we solve for the percent? Yeah. Could we solve for the whole?
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's real quick do one of each of those so that we have an example to look back at. Our book provides us with some, but we have that there. Let's make up our own. Let's say that this time for our example 2, alright, I'm going to say that we're going to solve for the percent. So, what is my part going to be? I need a random number. Any number you want. Go ahead, sir. 37. 37 is what percent of, yes ma'am?
13.
13. I like this. Let's hypothesize. Is my percentage, when I get my final answer, is that going to be greater or less than 100%? Greater than 100%. Why?
Because 37 is greater than 13.
Very good. Because 37 is greater than 13, that means that my percent is going to be greater than 100. All right, what do I do? How do I solve an equation like this?
Divide 37 by 13.
I need to divide by 13. Why am I dividing by 13?
To get the variable
To get the variable along. Very good. 37 divided by 13 is... Alright, I'm rounding. 2.846 is approximately X. We go out 9 more digits. We're going to round. You guys told me that my percentage had to be greater than 100. But my answer's 2.
Because you have to move the decimal.
I have to move the decimal point again. Which direction?
To the right.
To the right. How many places?
2.
2. 1, 2. So that is approximately 284.6%. When I calculate your grades, you know that you always have that fraction, that some number out of some number. Okay, this is how I calculate your grades. We look at the part is the number you got correct. The whole is the total number of questions. And just like this, the percent can be over 100 if you get the bonus right. So, this we use a lot. Could I, in theory, mark your quizzes, give it back to you and say, now calculate the percent?
No.
Am I going to do that?
No.
No, because I need, everything's recorded before I give it back to you.
I got it.
But that could happen. You could calculate it yourself if I didn't write it on there. All right? Let's look at one more where we are solving for the whole. No, that's the red that's not right. Okay, we are going to solve for the whole. I need a part. Which part? 14. What is my percent? Yes.
87.
87 of what number?
40. W.
W. Okay. 14 is 87% of what? That is W. Okay. So, what I need to know is, how do I solve this? Go ahead, tell me the first thing.
Is find the is put to like with example 2 you want to put them in the equation sort of like that you have
Okay,
before.
so I wrote it out in the form of the equation.
You want to get the numbers by themselves by getting rid of, you want to get the variable by himself.
I need to get the variable by itself, which would mean that I need to divide. Can I divide by 87%?
No.
What do I have to do first then?
Move the decimal.
I have to move the decimal and convert that to a decimal first. So that's 14 equals 0.87 W. Okay. Now I'm going to divide. What am I going to divide both sides by?
87.
By 87?
No. 0.87.
I'm going to divide by 0.87. If I divide by a decimal, is my quotient going to be greater or less than what I started with? Greater. Okay? So 14 divided by 0.87. 16.09. And we have another non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, so I'm going to round it to 2 decimal places. And I end up with 16.09 is approximately W my whole. Alright? Questions about this? Yes, no, maybe? Easy peasy? Okay. Now, I talked to you about one real-life situation where we use this. And that's calculating the percentage on a quiz or test. There's one more way and one more time that we use this all the time. And it's actually built into things. Sales tax. Is sales tax a part of a whole based on a percentage? Yeah. Does anybody know what is the state sales tax in South Carolina? It is 8%. 8. Shh. South Carolina sales tax is at 8%. Now, counties and cities can add extra sales tax to things for a specific purpose, like building new schools or adding new technology to schools or to improve roads or, whatever it needs. You can do that. Okay, schools can do that. Or not schools, counties and cities can do that. And it's a vote. It's something people elect and vote on. But we're going to work with basic sales tax. Alright? If we look at example 4 in your book, it talks about buying something that was a camera. Okay, it talks about buying a camera for $250. Well, and finding 6% sales tax on that, that's great. Let's use 8, because we live in a state where we have 8% sales tax. Alright?
Is that high?
8% is kind of average for sales tax. Sales tax can be, the lowest that I've ever seen is 4.5%. The highest I've seen is 13%. That is tough. 13% sales tax is rough. So we're kind of middle of the road. I'm not complaining about 8. If we wanted to drop it to 6, that'd be fantastic, but that also means that budgets are going to get cut. So things that are state funded aren't going to have as much money. All right. So if we're looking at tax, and I'm going to write this over here. Thank goodness for multiple colors. The part is going to be the amount of sales tax that we pay. Okay? The percent is our sales tax. So what amount of sales tax are we paying? 6. No, we don't.
8.
We use 8%. Okay. How am I going to write that 8%? 0.08. Now, if I'm buying that camera for $250, what is my whole? $250. With a handy dandy calculator, what is 0.08 times 250?
20.
20. Okay, so that means that I'm going to pay $20 in tax on that item. It's the way the world works. Okay? Now, with a tax question, we can be asked multiple things. The first thing we could be asked is, how much tax do you pay? If that's the question, are we done?
Yes.
Yeah. The second thing we could be asked is, what is the total that you will pay if tax is whatever? In that instance, we're not done. So the total is going to be equals the part plus my whole. So the total that I would pay for this camera is 20 plus 250, which is $270. Okay? You could be asked it either way. All right? Questions? All right. Thank you very much.